the escalation, Larry, when it comes to, let's assume they're sending these F-16 and F-35 to the region, and then what would be the plan? It's going to be all aerial bombardment of Iran. It's going to be limited to the southern part of Iran, to the western part of Iran.
But it depends on where the planes take off from. So, I think one of the reasons that you've seen the strikes confined largely to the south is that they were because the aircraft were from aircraft carriers. They weren't from Muwafaq al-Salti. I mean, I'm sure there had been some combat aircraft in there, but I think the majority of the attacks were being carried out by carrier-based aircraft.
The United States yesterday was trying to isolate the city of Bandar Abbas. They hit 7 yesterday and the day before. It was all about trying to destroy all this connection with this city, all around the city. But here is one of the footages that shows, because I know the geography of the region, it's impossible, quite impossible to isolate the city. Here is one of the videos here showing that bridge was hit here, and you see how they're using an alternative, sort of path.
Well, it's not the rainy season right now in Iran, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's hot. It's too hot, and there is, because the rain is not common in that part, in the southern part of Iran. It's too hot right now. It's summer, and there would be no rain. So they're not going to have any sort of problem anytime soon in the next 6 to 9 months. They're not going to have. So basically what they have been trying to do to disconnect, because the city is strategically important for the Strait of Hormuz, because this naval base is in Bandar Abbas. One of the, right. Then by ISIS, I don't know who's advocating for that. Because it's amazing to me the way the geography, looking at the map, topography of the map, and you see in the city and around the city, you hit the targets. These bridges were built long time ago because of the rain, because of the rivers, but because so far the drought, that Iran is dealing with drought, and that's why you don't see any sort of water passing through or under these bridges. So there would be no problem for Iranians to use the alternative routes.
Right. Well, I said it's not like there's one critical electrical, military, economic node in Iran, or even 5 critical nodes. And if you take those out, Iran collapses. No, Iran's a big country. It's got redundancies. So it's not going to be that easy. It does not say this is not damaging to Iran. It is damaging. But Iran is causing, really, I think, as much damage and worse to the U.S. military forces that occupy these different bases.
Do you think that the moment that the Trump administration says that, let's look at what these countries are talking about, and UAE just said we're not gonna, let's de-escalate. UAE, which is so close to Israel, but Israeli media today said they are preparing for war, for escalations, and even one of the the correspondents of
they Israel, or they UAE?
Israel. Okay. UAE wants to de-escalate. That's obvious with the statement just moments ago I read for you. But Israel is happy with the escalations. And to Channel 14, one of these reporters of Channel 14 said today he's so happy that there are casualties on the part of Americans, because that could lead to some sort of escalations on the battlefield between Iran and the United States.
It's going to lead to more U.S. casualties is what it's going to lead to. And they'll have a choice to stay at those bases or vacate. And I believe ultimately they're going to start vacating. Maybe by next week after.
Joseph Aoun is Lebanese President Joseph Aoun. He has arrived in Washington, Larry. One part of this battle is in Lebanon, and he's in Washington, and he's going to talk with Donald Trump. Benjamin Netanyahu going to talk with Donald Trump. They have their agenda. They have their plan.
Netanyahu is not going to Washington.
No, he's not going to. Then who's going to? Donald Trump going to go there to meet him? Because they're
What? Israel?
they were planning a meeting.
They were planning a meeting on Monday,
Yeah.
and Netanyahu has decided not to go. So they may have been planning to try to get some announcement with respect to Lebanon, but Netanyahu, for whether he fears that the war is going to escalate and Israel is going to be taking the shots. I'm not sure why he didn't go, but he didn't go.
Maybe because of the escalation, because they're planning for the escalate.
Yeah, that's one possibility.
Yeah, and then Iran going to respond. I don't know what would be the response to these escalations, because at some point they're going to run out of targets. And then what would be that? Are they going to destroy everything in these GCC countries, or they're going to hit some strategic targets?
So when you say, to be clear, who's they? They are going to run out of targets.
I'm talking about Iranians. At some point, they're going to run out of targets.
No, they're not. No, it'll be 3 or 4 months before they exhaust targets in the Gulf. They're going to destroy every inch of those military bases so they can't be inhabited again. So that, they'll just strike night after night after night. And eventually the U.S. is going to have to abandon those air bases.
Joseph Aoun is going to meet with Secretary Rubio on tomorrow. He's going to talk with Rubio tomorrow. And on Tuesday, he's going to meet with Donald Trump. And
so he's meeting with Rubio on Sunday?
Tomorrow,
Sunday.
Sunday. And on Tuesday, the day, on Tuesday, he's going to meet with Donald Trump. What is he seeking for? I don't know what is the cable, how.
Well, he's got promises and assurances from the United States for protection. One assess, okay, where is it? Where did the U.S. promise them Patriot missiles? Did they promise them additional military support to take on Hezbollah? I don't know, but that could be the kind of thing he's wanting to get nailed down.
Yeah. Two important, Larry, attacks. We had the attacks in the Persian Gulf as well. It seems that they have mined the southern part of the strait. Was that confirmed in your opinion, or because we had some reports about some areas that were mined and these tankers were hit by these mines? I don't know if Iran has mined the southern part of the strait.
Where else would the mines have come from? Are you suggesting they came from someone else? Who would that someone else be? What other country? I think this is, for Iran, it's just easier to mine the strait. That way you don't have to waste any surface-to-air missiles or cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles. You can just let the mines do their work, and they're as effective, if not more effective.
CNN reported that the Trump administration has tentatively agreed to allow Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium for its civilian nuclear program under a draft U.S.-Saudi nuclear deal awaiting President Trump's signature. And this is not going to be under IAEA. It's going to be something different, just between the United States and Saudi Arabia. I don't know, how does Israel feel about it? Are they going to let him?
They're probably not happy about it, but Donald Trump's obviously not calling them up and saying, hey, is this okay with you? He's doing his own thing.
is that it's the civilian. What do they want to produce? It's about the energy. It's about power. They're gonna,
I'm not that familiar with the Saudi nuclear
yeah,
program.
because they don't have it.
Uh,
They're not
they
that
don't,
advanced when it comes to the nuclear program.
do they have a nuclear power plant?
I don't know. I know nothing about the nuclear program of Saudi Arabia. It seems that the United States wants to start that as the case, for example, the case that Iran has in the southern part, in the city of Bushehr, which was started by Russians, 40 years ago, something like 40, more than 40 years ago. I assume that they're going to start the same thing in Saudi Arabia together with the United States.
So the Saudis don't have any operational nuclear power plants. So how are they going to do enriched uranium?
It's going to be all from scratch, and because they don't have anything right now.
Well, so they're going to have to. They got plans apparently to build a facility, but that's not going to be ready for 2 years at least. So this is just what I call blue sky. It's a plan. It's going to happen, but it may never happen.
And when they're talking about, because whenever we're talking about the Iranian nuclear program, and Iran may produce nuclear weapons, it says if Iran does that, then Saudi Arabia and Turkey want to do the same. But you have to have the knowledge. It's not just going to be overnight to go after that.
Well, right. But that's where your scientists become export. Iran can send them to Turkey. Maybe both as a way to build trust and to build an obligation, a debt.